Good morning and welcome to the Killik & Co market update. We've seen some volatility in semiconductor stocks this week following a couple of developments in the US. Firstly, there have been reports that the US is considering further restrictions on exports of semiconductors to China. This would be bad news for US-based semiconductor companies. Secondly, Donald Trump has commented that Taiwan should pay for its own defense, and that suggests that the US would not protect Taiwan in the event of an invasion from China. At the moment, Taiwan produces about 90% of the world's advanced semiconductors. The comment sparked a drop in semiconductor stocks. Big names such as Nvidia and ASML fell, and the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index dropped 6.8% in a single day. The index has had a very strong run over the last 5 years, but you can see that drop at the end there. The Nasdaq Composite Index contains a lot of semiconductor stocks, so that had a bad day too. Here it is in percentage terms over the last year. It dropped 2.8% in a single day, which was its biggest single-day drop for 18 months. All of these movements have led to a rise in the VIX index, or the fear index, which is a measure of expected future volatility. Here it is over the last year, and you can see that spike this week. That said, if we expand the time frame to 5 years, you can see the level of the VIX is still very low compared to where it was for much of 2020 to 2022. And finally, the price of gold has continued to move higher this week, touching record highs again, which suggests that some investors have been looking for a safe haven. We talked last week about the strength we'd seen in UK markets since the general election, and that strength has continued to play out in the currency markets. Here's the dollar against the pound over the last 5 years. Back in autumn 2022, around the time of the mini-budget, £1 would only buy $1.03. The rate is now back up to $1.30, so good news for anyone going on holiday. However, it's not good news for investors holding dollar stocks but valuing their portfolios in sterling. As sterling strengthens, the value of those dollar holdings will lessen, even if the share prices haven't moved. Let's flip that currency chart the other way round to make it show the declining value of the dollar against the pound. This one is in percentage terms over 1 year. Between July 2023 and October 2023, the dollar gained 8% against the pound, but since then the 8% gain has been lost again. If you're wondering why your portfolio value sometimes moves in a different direction to the market, currency could well be the reason. And finally, more and more Democrats have been calling for President Biden to withdraw his candidacy for the US presidential election. This morning, we've been having a look on Betfair at the odds on who will win the election. As a reminder, the lower the number, the greater the likelihood of that candidate winning. As you can see, Trump is currently the strong favorite. Last week's assassination attempt appears to have worked in his favor. Kamala Harris is then the next most likely. Michelle Obama is then considered more likely to win it than President Biden, despite not even being a candidate. So we'll be watching this closely as the election date approaches. We also wanted to mention that this morning there are lots of headlines out about a global IT outage. Lots of airlines have grounded their flights, there have been problems at banks and various other problems. There are many rumors that the problems have been caused by a security software update by a firm called CrowdStrike, but this has not yet been confirmed. So we'll have a good look at this in next week's video. Moving on to have a look at the calendar for next week, it's looking very busy, and we are expecting results out from Alphabet, Amazon, and ServiceNow. That's it from us. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday.